What's up, guys, and welcome back into the Rams House. Thank you so much for stopping back in to another Rams House video. I really appreciate each and every one of you that stops in just to take some time out of your day to hear my opinions about the Rams. And if you do like Rams content, I'd appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button, because that is all I do on this channel. It's all Rams, and this is your main outlet to get Rams content. So if you want to stay up to date with that, with daily content on the Rams, please feel free to do that. And today I'm going to be discussing this Rams team having the number one offense. Why I think they can get back to that. And yeah, I think they can get back to that 2017 and 2018 form that they were in. The offense won't look exactly the same because you don't have a running back in Todd Gurley, but I think when you're taking a guy like Sean McVay, who is just obviously that offensive genius, I think he is a guy who, no matter who you have at quarterback, no matter who your offense is and what you have around, you have a good chance at being a top 10 offense. Last year definitely was a drop off for us, and it was just very unlike the Rams to not have the best offense or even be in the top 5. It was kind of abysmal last year, and I think that this year we're going to be able to turn it around. And with a guy like Sean McVay, who's smart, he knows his stuff, he's getting a guy like Matthew Stafford who's really going to help, and he's going to be able to insert some different things that we haven't seen. Anytime you have that guy, Sean McVay, in this offense, I think you got a chance. So that's one of the things. And then you talk about that addition to bring in Matthew Stafford, which, again, I'm still really excited about that pick. And I don't care about the picks that we gave up to get Matthew Stafford through that trade. I'm excited to see what he does with this Rams team. I think he's just going to bring this energy to this offense. Obviously, he brings all those arm angles. He's got the arm talent. He's got a big arm, and that accuracy is really good. And yeah, he's definitely an aggressive guy. I'll take that all day. And I think that just getting a guy who is confident, he's a great leader, and he's proven himself just not many people have known it because he's in Detroit, but he's proven himself in Detroit, and now we get to see what he does with Sean McVay in this Rams offense. So getting an upgrade at QB, because I do think Stafford is an upgrade over Goff at QB, that's always going to help your chances with getting a better offense and having a better offense than the year past, and I definitely think that's going to play into it. And then you talk about having a guy like Cam Akers, an amazing running game. I think he's really going to step up this year. I still don't want to forget about Darrell Henderson too. I think Darrell Henderson still has a lot of talent. He's just in that position. You know, we had the running back by committee, then he went down, then Akers kind of shined. But having that running game that Akers brings you, I think he's going to really shine this year, break out even more than he did last year, because he's going to have a full year, as long as no injuries happen, at his disposal to get better and improve. And he's had this offseason to get better and improve, and who knows, we could see some wildcat out of this guy Cam Akers like we saw against the Packers in that divisional round. So yeah, I think having a strong running game is always important to a team's success, especially in the case of Matthew Stafford, who hasn't really had that many strong rushing games or 1,000-yard rushers. Last 1,000-yard rusher was in 2013. And then you talk about a guy like Cooper Kupp, who knows the route tree well. He has amazing fast footwork. He can get open most of the times, like 80% of the times. And yeah, we have not seen too many plays like the one you're just seeing on the screen now, where it's a throw up, jump ball, get it situation. We haven't really seen that with the Rams because that's not the type of play style that Jared Goff had. But the main things that you know about Cooper Kupp is obviously those yards after catch like Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods possess, but obviously that route running I really like, and his catching, those hands are good. So I think that Stafford to Cooper Kupp connection is going to be really dangerous this year, especially with those traits that I mentioned. And there's some parts to his game we still have not seen yet, because again, part of Goff's game, this is not his fault, but part of Goff's game was not to throw it up and make him go up and get it. So we could see some of that. Then you talk about a guy like Robert Woods, who I really like because there's no one thing that he's truly good at. He is so good in so many different areas on the football field and what he can do, that's what makes him special. There's no one thing that stands out about him that makes him so nice at a wide receiver, but I think he's one of those guys who can take a jet sweep. He's really physical. I know that his blocking is really good for run blocking or pass blocking, whatever it may be. I think when you ask this guy to step up, he does, and he does it really well at that. Then you got Deshaun Jackson and Tutu Atwell. These guys are your speed guys that are going to be in the offense, and the speed is what the Rams needed. If you were under a rock last year, we needed that speed because, we were missing that, and it was really reflected in the offense. So you get these guys who are speed guys. DeSean Jackson, I think he's going to be plugged in there just because of injuries. He's not going to be asked to be put in too much. Then Tutu Atwell's, I think, a gadget guy, but also he's got some good route running, and I think he is a speed guy of the future for whenever DeSean Jackson leaves, which I do believe is going to be next year. But overall, these guys, Tutu Atwell and DeSean Jackson, bring the speed to the offense. They bring that electricity, and then in turn, when they're doing that, they open up the passing game for Robert Woods and for Cooper Kupp, and then they also open up the running game because you got to be scared about that, and vice versa. So they kind of feed off of each other. And again, I think that speed in the Rams offense was missed last year. It was really reflected in it last year. So getting guys to replace that is really crucial. Then you got my man Tyler Higbee at tight end, who I think because of injuries last year and just kind of the offense being a little bit of a downer last year, it wasn't bad by any means, but it wasn't as good as we're used to seeing. I think he kind of disappeared into that offense, and not many people really know. They kind of forgot how good he is, and I think he's still that type of guy who can take on the dump offs, and he's really good at doing what he does at that tight end position for sure. And you got the guy, rising star Jacob Harris, who's getting rave reviews from Sean McVay in the OTAs and the training camp, and everybody is expecting him to do well now, and there's a lot of that on his shoulder. I think he can definitely deal with that. We're going to have to see where the Rams put him in, because he does bring that speed to the table at that size, and he's one of those weapons who it's almost unfair because he got the speed at that size, and he also is like a jump ball guy, can go up and get it, and Stafford loves those guys. So when you put all this together, the coaching, the players, and everything to this Rams offense, I think that to me is at least screaming a top 3 offense. And to me, for Rams bias, obviously I think they can be number 1 with all these things as long as everybody stays healthy. I think that's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. And the main guys you're going to have to be competing with is obviously like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense and the Bills offense. There's definitely a lot of talent out there, but I think this Rams team has a great shot at that number 1 offense. But I want to hear your thoughts, even if you're not a Rams fan. I love having other fans come in here. I want to know your thoughts on this. But those are my thoughts. As always, horns up, and God bless, and you guys are the best. Have an amazing